Oh no, not the granddad's allotment. So it's the 8th of August today, and I'm here for a couple of hours just to do a bit of pruning and sorting out the black currants and blackberries and stuff. I've got my strimmer and I've got my shredder, so I might do a bit of pruning on the apple trees as well. So my pruning and get things shredded and see what I've got to harvest. Right, see you in a bit. Right, I'm just heading towards the black currants, but I thought I would just share that with you. A little squash, summer squash. So yeah, this is what I'm going to concentrate on first of all, is trimming back all of this. But before that, I've got to get past the giant marrow, so I'll be doing some cutting back of that. I've also got some turnips in here as well, which I want to sort of harvest today. Yeah, right, let's see how far I get. Right, I'll show you what I've done. So I've cut back this black currant. It might seem a bit drastic. I mean, it covered all of up there. But what I've cut back to is, this is really old wood. It's probably 4 or 5 year old black currants fruit on old wood. But because these were getting too big, it was making the tree shoot new stuff right up there, so I couldn't harvest. So what I'm trying to do is encourage these new growths from the base, and they'll grow next year. I mean, still very much alive. They'll spread up from the base. So yeah, what I will do is I'll take out this old wood. I'll have to bring me a little mini chainsaw to get right in and try and encourage everything to come back from the base. That'll make the bush a bit more manageable, sort of waist chest height for harvesting, because it was sort of going, I mean, I'm holding with the camera there at head height and we've still got another 4 foot, so it's got to be 10 or 12 foot, because obviously the car park's raised. That's the level of the car park there. So yeah, that'll let this red currant sort of flourish a bit, and I'll clear a bit of space because it was getting overwhelming for the rhubarb and stuff. So yeah, gooseberry I'll train a little bit next. I'll show you what I've taken out. So I've got this big pail here for shredding, and this pail here is fairly softwood, this year's growth, so I'm going to put that into some containers for cuttings to create new plants to give away. It's a bit hot there. Winston's a bit draggled, but I'll have to move them. He'll move into the greenhouse shortly, or into the shed, a bit cooler. So I'm going to get the strimmer out and get the shredder out. Right, catch you in a bit. Right, I'll show you what I'm doing with these. So these are this year's shoots. All I'm going to do is put them into some compost. This is just some compost from the potatoes, and I'm just going to, because it doesn't have to be anything special, you know, it's just cuttings. So I'm going to find a node, cut just below a node, and I don't want too much top growth, so I'm going to cut an angle cut there, take a couple of leaves off and just stick these in the sides of the pot. I could do that one as well, but it's a little bit thin, so I'm just going to go through these just below a node, trim them off because you don't want too much top growth, and just stick them in the bucket. And these will just go into a shady area in the garden, and they'll be shooted for next year, and I can give them away. As long as they've got a bit of moisture in, it doesn't need to be too much. But all we want is a little bit of moisture. and then once these are rooted, next year I'll just open the bucket up and split them up and pot them up into individual pots. A few more. So from these cuttings I could probably do normally 20-30 different plants just to give away. I don't need any more plants myself, but you know, if you want to buy these at a garden centre, you know, you're talking 8-9 quid for a blackcurrant plant, whereas you're generating these for free. These I think are Ben Lomond, if I can remember rightly. But that plant there, it's been in 2 different places in the allotment and my garden at home. So I've had it for probably 10 years. So it's served as well. It's now time to move it on. You alright, Winnie? It's the first time it's had a real drastic cut. But it needs it just to rejuvenate it. So this soil's not particularly good, it's quite loose, it's got a lot of straw in it, because it's the stuff I've used for the potatoes. But a nice sandy soil would do either. You can even put these in water and let them shoot. I've got some of the red currants in the greenhouse, and some of the gooseberries, which I'll show you in a minute. They've shooted really well in the water and now need potting up. It's all tied up with bindweed as well, which is the bane of my life on this allotment. Oops, sorry, Winston. As long as you do the slanting cut on the top, if they are kept out in the rain, they'll not sort of gather water on the top and rot out. I mean, not all of these will take, but even if 50% do, you know, it's 10 new plants, whatever, for the sake of a little bit of work. So I've got an area by the gate which is a little bench, and it's covered over, and I've put all my new fruit trees on there, the ones I've sort of propagated, and they just stay there. They're covered over, they take the rain, hail, snow, or at least the netting covers the snow a little bit, but they just stay out there till they're needed. I don't plant them up or anything. I'll probably get one more in there. Right, see when you've got 2, 4, 6, 8. 21. I've got to have an even number, so I'll put another one in. Try and get nice straight ones if you can. Right, 22 new black currant plants. Right, I'm going to start shredding. Right, I've got the shredder out. The shredder's attached to my portable power station. It is a bit noisy. Right, because it's a bit noisy, I'll stick it on fast forward. Right, I've just stopped the time lapse for a bit. I've done one bucket full. I'll just continue on and I'll come back when I'm finished. Right, I've done 3.5 tubs of chippings. Got a little bit more to go, which I've off the tayberries, which I've pulled off. But I'm letting the shredder sort of cool down a bit. And I'm gonna make my way into here and start and harvest some of these grapes. I'm going to make grape jelly. Never done it before, but for once I'm going to try and use the grapes up. Right, there we go. I've got half a carrier bag of grapes, and I'll make that into grape jelly. I'll show you what I've got when I'm finished. Right, it's a little bit of a harvest for today. Decent cucumber, a few tomatoes, a summer squash there, 3 marrows and 3 white turnips. Not too bad. And obviously I've got half a bag of grapes as well. There you go, half a bag of grapes. So I'm going to pot up some of my fruit bushes that I've got in soaking in the water, so I'll show you what they are. Right, what I'm doing now is sewing up some of, this is gooseberry cuttings I took a few months ago. They're just soaking in water. You can see there, they've all shooted. So I'm going to pop them up into just some little rose pots, and hopefully they'll come on and I'll be able to give them away to people next year. This again, it's not particularly good soil. It doesn't need to be, you know, it needs to be fairly light draining. This has got quite a bit of straw in, because it's what I use from my potatoes. So we've got plenty of shoots on there. I put a little bit in the bottom. We're just going to pack around with the soil. These are pink gooseberries. I don't know the name. I was given the bush to transplant. We're doing a little fruit forest with the scouts, so these will eventually go up to our little campsite and be used for the kids to forage off next year. So again, good roots, and they're free plants. So basically it was a bush someone was digging up at one of the allotments over the other side, and I put in a peel out for fruit trees and fruit bushes. I went and collected this one. I put it up. It's the one you had seen earlier when I was cutting back the black currants, the gooseberry that's in there by the compost bins. That was this. It was a massive bush. I just took loads of cuttings off it and put them in to soak. They've been in there a couple of months, so good root system on them and free plants. And I'll do the same again, probably with some of the black currants and taperies and stuff. I'll oh look, there's a potato, because it was a potato compost. I'll just keep potting these up. We'll have a regular sort of plant swap now with the allotments. Not these allotments, but one of the allotments are nearby, and then next town along, and I'm involved in that, so I'll put these up and these will be used as part of that plant swap as well. So these will be new gooseberry bushes for next year. I don't need any more myself, but it's obviously these are for pass on to everybody else, and like I said, for the scouts little fruit forest that we're building. So they haven't cost anything, even the soil's free. The only thing it's cost us is some fruit. There's some little rose pots, but even them could be recycled from something else if necessary. I just like the deeper pots for these. Right, one more, because I have to find some more pots. And I'll keep these outside. Like I said, I've got a little area which is just for new trees and fruit trees out the way. Right, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. So I'll go and find some more pots and come back and show you what I've done. Right, that's it. I've run out of little rose pots. I've had to use some slightly bigger ones, but I've just counted up. I've done 48 pink gooseberries. I've done 6 red currants, a couple of black currants and a fig. So I'm going to cut some more bits of figs and some tapeberries, cuttings, and put them in these jars to start them off. But wife's just rang, she's on her way, so I'm going to start and pack up. I might catch you tomorrow. See you later. Right, just before we'll go, I just thought I would show you in the greenhouse. I've harvested a lot of stuff, but my giant cucumbers coming on, that's about half my arm. Got another one along here, as you can see. That's about my arm's length. So Dean, hope you're watching. I'm not sure whether they're supposed to be longs or heavies, but I've got 2 nice little cucumbers. This is the remnants of my potting up the gooseberries. They were the currants, which I've took the cuttings off when I was cutting the tree back. More, you kind of see for the sun. More gooseberries. We've had a bit of a myrtle as well. I think the foxes have been in. Apples doing well. This needs its summer prune, this apple tree, so that's maybe his next. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to head off home, have a well-deserved beer. Right, catch you on the next one.